All right, people. Final video before the game starts, unless something really crazy happens in the next hour. But we've got ourselves the inactive list for both teams. Seahawks released theirs just a second ago, Patriots a couple minutes ago. So now we know who is going to be available and who is not going to be available in this game, at least at the start. So we're going to start with the Seahawks side of things. There was very little drama on this side. And it turns out that we do have one notable listing on the inactive list. But I've talked about this earlier this week, and it was expected in my book. I fully expected this to happen. But yeah, you take a look at the inactive list from the official Seahawks PR account. Robbie Ouzts is the one guy who stands out. So he is inactive for this game. He will not play. He was questionable on Friday, and I did not expect him to be ready for this game. So no Robbie Ouzts this week. All right, guys, hold up because my friends at Sleeper are introducing some new features, and I want to tell you guys about them before we go any further. Sleeper is launching Team Picks, a new prediction market product. So now, on top of all the over-unders you can pick over on their Sleeper app, you can now pick on games. For instance, if you take a look to my left on the screen right now, you can see you can make a pick on the Super Bowl. They also have some bonuses available on over-unders for players. So there's now way more stuff you can get up to over on Sleeper. Get on over there before the Super Bowl, and don't forget to use the promo code SBN for a 100% match up to $100 on your first deposit. And don't forget to utilize the free $20 entry that you get just for making an account. So the Super Bowl is almost here. Make sure you get on Sleeper and have some fun with sports. So yeah, a neck injury is nothing to mess around with. So probably a good idea, and he'll have the whole off season to figure his stuff out after this game. But when you're playing a position like fullback, I think that neck is something that you really, really cannot have any issues with. So not surprising. Everything else as expected. And to me, even the Ouzts thing was expected. But Jalen Milroe, the emergency quarterback. So he's inactive, but can be activated if something happens with both the starter and the backup. Chaz Surratt, even though he's healthy, inactive because we're happy with Tyrese Knight and Pat O'Connell as the backup linebackers. Jared Ivey is also inactive, as he has typically been this season. Mason Richman, he's inactive, and remember, Cable Dew's on IR, so we must be feeling really good about Josh Jones and Charles Cross. Nick Collerup is inactive as well, the fourth tight end, and Brandon Peely, the nose tackle, inactive for Riley Mills. So it looks like in this game, and this kind of makes sense to me because the Patriots have a little bit of a lighter offensive line. We're going with Riley Mills being active. Now, I don't know if Riley Mills will play, but Peely is more of a nose tackle than Mills, and Mills is a little more athletic and a little bit more of like a two-eye guy. So I get the strategy. Um, I don't know if either guy would have played though. Like this is the Super Bowl. You don't have to put your third string guys out there if you feel like you don't have to because there's a game next week. No, there's no game next week. There's no game for months and months and months. So that's the inactive list. One name that is not here that will draw attention is Elijah Arroyo. That might be the biggest story here. Elijah Arroyo is active for the Seahawks and looks like he'll be playing in this game. Now, Elijah Arroyo hasn't done a ton this season, but he is by a pretty wide margin the most athletic tight end on this roster. And going up against a New England defense that isn't the fastest, and going up against linebackers that are good but not necessarily great, I do wonder if there's something you can exploit there. So we are going to see a little bit of Arroyo today. But as you can see, Sawbird is also active, and of course Barner, so we're going to have flexibility there. But no Robbie Ouzts. That's the only thing of real note here. And it's too bad for him. I feel bad for him as a person because he's worked this whole year to get here, and now he can't play in the Super Bowl, more so than I feel like the team is going to dramatically miss him. Obviously, it's nice to have a fullback, but at the same time, the margins were thin for Ouzts. All right, Patriots side of things. From the official Patriots account, we've got their inactive list. It's all players that have very small roles on this team. Kobe Minor, cornerback. Braden Swinson, outside linebacker. I remember scouting him in the draft a little bit. Marcus Bryant, reserve tackle. Caden Wallace, reserve guard. CJ Dupree, Alabama tight end. Efton Chisholm, we know him. If you watch college football in this state, you probably know who he is. Old Wazoo receiver. And Tommy DeVito, also the emergency quarterback for them behind Joshua Dobbs. So that is their inactive list. As you can see, it's all players that really don't do that much for the Patriots this year. Not players they would expect to have to play. The fact that they deactivated Swinson could be an indicator that they have a good amount of faith that Harold Landry is going to make it through the game. I don't want to read too much into that, though. It is notable that they did not bring a linebacker or edge rusher off the practice squad yesterday, really. I mean, unless you consider Leonard Taylor to be an edge, which I think he's more of an inside guy anyway. But they seem to be believing in those guys. So that was the main thing to check for on this report. As expected, they're both going to play. Again, the question is, how much can they play? Can they play well? Obviously, it's the last game, but at the same time, those guys barely practice this week. There's probably some amount less than 100% that they are. Yeah, it is worth monitoring as we go through this game. But that's it, guys. That's the last bit of information we're going to get. We're a little more than an hour away from kickoff, and we know what's up, man. This team, it's not perfectly healthy, but who is? It's February, man. It's February. We're obviously, this list doesn't take into account guys like Zach Charbonnet or Torrey Horton. And for the Patriots, they got guys like Antonio Gibson, who might have been active in this game if they had him. But this is a good setup. Can't ask for too much more going into this one. So let me know what you guys think. I know pretty much everybody's locked in by now. Be surprised if a lot of people see this video, but I thought I'd go ahead and quickly put together the final bit of information we're going to get about this game before it starts. So all I can say now is they got to go out there and play. They got to go out there and execute. And I believe that if they do, if they play smart and they play hard, they will be champions in about 5 hours. But those things have to happen. They're playing a team that can do some things to them. They're playing a team that does have some things in the matchup category that are potentially a problem for the Seahawks. But I believe that this team is ready to go out there and win. And I hope that we get that shiny trophy at the end of this to feel good about ourselves for the rest of the season and officially, indubitably, and unquestioningly justify the Mike McDonald era 2 years into it. That's a quick turnaround, people. And they're one game away. All right, let me know what you guys think. I'll see you guys later. Go Hawks. Wish I had something more to say than that. I know this is probably the last time you're going to see me until the game's over, but just go out there and finish, man. We got pretty much everybody. They got pretty much everybody. Just go play a game.